Hello everyone, I'm Jiren. The title of my presentation is Event Models, Structure Information Accessibility, Less in Children Than in Adults. To make sense of our experience, we organize the continuous flow of information into structured units. For example, this is my friend Jesse, a stand-up comedian. We could segment his quarantine workout into 3 events: stretching exercises, always better with chips, and then boxing and dumbbell uppers. The process to spontaneously chunk continuous experience into meaningful events is referred to as event segmentation. To perform event segmentation, it is hypothesized that adults use their generalized knowledge to represent the scenario. Such mental representations are called event models. It is also proposed that adults use their working memory to maintain these event models. At event boundaries, event models are then cleared from working memory, leaving information in the previous event less accessible than in the current event. For example, adult participants would have difficulties recalling which bag of chips Jesse was eating after they saw him boxing. Event segmentation could be a very important tool for children to learn the world around us. However, it has never been studied whether children use event models to perform event segmentation. As previously mentioned, generating and maintaining event models are thought to rely on semantic knowledge and working memory. These two cognitive domains are still developing in middle childhood. So here we hypothesize that event models affect children less than adults in their information accessibility of the past experiences. Before testing this hypothesis, we conducted a pilot study to select the appropriate cartoons and candidate event boundaries. Adults and child participants watched 5 cartoons and indicated when they perceived an event boundary. Next, we analyzed our pilot data using a uniform moving average across time to tabulate boundary likelihood. Then, we calculated the correlation between adults and children's responses. Of the 5 cartoons, Rugrats and Busy Town showed the strongest correspondence between adults and children's event boundary detection. So we picked these 2 cartoons as the stimulus movies for the main experiment of our study. Using the 2 cartoons, we tested the influence of event models on the information accessibility in children and adults. The final sample included 57 children between 7 to 9 years and 60 adults. Participants watched the Rugrats and Busy Town. Before the experiment started, they were told that sometimes the cartoon would be interrupted by a pop-up test, during which they would need to pick as quickly as possible which of the 2 objects had appeared recently. This forced-choice probe contained 1 target and 1 distractor. Crucially, the test could pop up either within an event or across an event boundary. The delay between the last appearance of the object in the movie and the test was roughly equated in the design between the 2 conditions. The reaction time and the response accuracy were recorded while participants were making responses. Here is the data from our primary dependent variable, reaction time. The x-axis is the 2x2 condition, where children and adults are listed within and across event boundaries. The y-axis is the log transformed reaction times. As we can see, both adults and children were faster when making correct responses in the within event condition than the across event condition. More importantly, as we predicted, a significant interaction between age and the event boundary was observed, such that within and across event condition differed less in children than in adults for reaction times. These results suggest that children's information accessibility is less influenced by event boundaries than adults. Now, the data from response accuracy. Both adults and children were more accurate in the within event than the across event conditions. However, the age by event boundary interaction is not significant. This is perhaps due to the ceiling effect of the response accuracy measure, as a larger proportion of children and adults scored about 100%. Taking together all our findings, here we conclude that children's accessibility to past experience is less affected by event models than adults. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe and healthy.